And as we're talking about making a character, let's talk about some of the greatest actors. How do you rank these actors? Like, who would you say is the best actor?
DiCaprio.
Do you think it's DiCaprio?
Without a shadow of a
For
doubt.
me, we are back with our 4th podcast, and I swear it's like destiny. We have to talk about Solskjaer all the time.
Unfortunately.
I feel like I know we mentioned him in the first 2 podcasts, but today we were actually supposed to talk about Zidane and what he needs to do at Madrid. But Solskjaer has just been given the permanent job, and I think we all can agree that he does deserve the job. Yeah. Oh, come on! Don't you give me that. Don't even try to be controversial. Let's just get that out of the way. I don't want to waste time on that.
It's the biggest mistake United have ever made. I'm joking.
Overly romantic, aren't they?
Yeah.
No.
It's the best person for the job.
It's a classic case of, you look at past situations of clubs that have appointed former players. It's not gone too well.
Dalglish at Liverpool.
They have, Dalglish at Liverpool.
Not the first time.
Robbie Di Matteo. They had that initial honeymoon period.
He won the Champions League.
Exactly. and Solskjaer's got through.
Did he go through to the next season?
He got through to the next season, so he's at interim status, won the Champions League. Solskjaer's obviously beaten PSG. That's what I mean. Initial honeymoon period. We'll see how he does next year. For now, obviously, it looks like a great decision. You only find out in 12 months' time.
Yeah, so what do you think needs to happen for him to have success at the club? That is what I don't want to debate whether he deserves the job. I think I'm not saying he's the best candidate for it, but he definitely deserves a go.
He is the best candidate at the moment. Who's better than him?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
They might regret not getting Poch.
I think Poch was the man to go
Poch.
to. I think Poch was the man to go to, but I'm not going to begrudge them and say that it was a stupid decision to get Solskjaer, yeah? So now that he's in, what do they need to do to make sure he succeeds?
Solskjaer's got no proven track record in the transfer market, so that's a massive question mark.
I'm not saying do they trust him, because like you said, they haven't, I'm not saying they should trust him, because you've already touched up on the fact that he hasn't got a proven record in there. But they've given him the job, so they have to back him. They have to trust him then,
back him.
So where does he need to strengthen on the pitch?
What if he's
and do you actually think Lukaku's going to be at the club as their first choice striker?
I think he'd be at the club, but maybe not as a first choice striker.
I don't think Lukaku can accept that. He can't be
a
75-minute striker on the bench.
He's not going to take a pay cut and go to Stoke, is he?
Yeah.
But
you'd rather sit at the bench and get paid 200 and 250 grand a week, whatever he's getting.
I heard rumours of him wanting to go to Juventus. Oh, to be fair, I think a lot of players would want to go to a lot of teams, but he feels like he could actually get the move done. So
maybe
there's been some sort of whispers about that.
But back to Solskjaer.
We haven't left him. We're just talking about whether Lukaku.
No, you know about Lukaku, innit? Back to Solskjaer.
Yeah, but do you think he'll feature under Solskjaer? Like, do you think he'll
not as a regular?
Around him?
Not as a regular. No, I don't think he will. To be honest, I think he's probably realised he's.
So if you're Lukaku,
yeah,
and you know now that, say, Solskjaer says to him in end of May, look, your first team place isn't here. It's not going to happen. I'm building around Lukaku.
I don't think he's going to say that.
No, if he does, I'm just saying. Right. Say that he decides Lukaku is not his man. What do you do if you're Lukaku? Do you stay and fight, or do you go?
Well, you've got to remember that United would typically only play one up front, right? And Rashford has that positional flexibility where he can play on the wing. And with Sanchez getting older and not as good,
he's finished. He's finished.
Exactly. So that leaves on the wide positions Martial, Rashford, and maybe Lingard. You could say is a winger as well. So he could easily just put Rashford out wide and play Lukaku down the middle.
To be fair, Lukaku's had his best performances out wide in the right.
He has in a couple of big games where he just preys on the tiny fullbacks, but generally speaking, they'd want to play him down the middle. And maybe Solskjaer's come upon a template like he did against PSG where they play 2 up top, because Lukaku said in the post-match interview he prefers playing as a 2.
So maybe you can keep them both if that's the way Solskjaer's going to go. I just feel like if it is only going to be one, the way that Solskjaer's set up, and even when Lukaku got back to fitness, Rashford was still his man in it until he needed to rotate for, to try and keep him fit and injury free. So.
Or if Solskjaer's that type of manager who gets the best out of Lukaku next season, makes him into an absolute monster. You know what Fergie used to do with standard bog average players.
Then obviously he decided to build it around Lukaku.
Like Cantona.
Not Cantona. Maybe like Fletcher, Wes Brown, plays like that. Silvestre, Gary Neville.
I've heard from a United fan, there's no solid proof for this, but
there's one sat there in the corner.
He's just too camera shy, but I've heard that they think Solskjaer's done a good enough job in tightening up this defence that they're not going to invest in any more defenders.
They're going to have to.
But if they don't, do you think he'll be looking to escape the season.
They won't make top 4 next year if they don't.
Does Solskjaer last the job then?
If
Do
they
you
don't
think
make top 4, yeah.
Yeah, of course he will. Man, they're going to sack him after one season if he doesn't finish top 4.
They did it with Moyes, the chosen one.
Yeah, but the style of play was ridiculously bad, and everything about it was bad. Tactics, team selections, formations, style of play.
Like we touched on last week, media influences these types of decisions massively. Solskjaer, if you listen to him in press conferences, everyone loves him. Everyone loves him. No one's got a bad word to say about him. Whereas David Moyes is just his natural demeanour, very boring and dour. It brings everyone down.
So Mourinho as well. The media turned on Mourinho as well and bombed him as
exactly.
well.
Whereas Solskjaer, because he's got everyone on his side, even if the results go bad, he knows how to play the media.
Can I quickly just say, I keep on touching my nose because he's put on half a bottle of aftershave. It's getting in my nose.
Because I just had a hot and spicy pizza.
The only thing I'm thinking is though, we know how the media love to generate clicks. Yeah, that's what newspapers are pretty much dead. Yeah, so they love to generate clicks. A couple of bad results, and they're thinking, right, we can get on this. Is it time for Solskjaer to go bandwagon? So the media can turn on players or managers and stuff very quickly if they feel it's for self-gain. The
media can, but I don't think the fans will follow in suit and follow the media.
And because Solskjaer's one of their own, so he's got loads of positives going. He's a former United player. He's doing really well. If you compare it to,
he's Norwegian, don't forget.
Exactly, and everyone loves that country. If you compare it to just Gerrard slip, no one vilified Gerrard post that saying he cost Liverpool the title.
No, I'm joking.
He cost Liverpool the title.
Seriously, cool.
And likewise with Solskjaer, he could go on a 3-game losing streak and no one would say anything.
I'll tell you partly why Gerrard didn't get vilified. Because in that same season, if I do this, who are you going to think about?
Colo Touré.
Exactly. How many times did he throw away points for us that season? So, and you're talking to games like West Brom and Leicester and teams like that. Yeah. I think they were the 2 games made the mistakes against.
I actually want him to die after that match. Colo Touré.
He's a Muslim, you know. He's a Muslim.
Actually.
I don't ever wish
so what?
I don't ever wish death on anyone.
And he's always got a smile on his face.
Yeah, he has.
He's
koala bear, innit?
Yeah, koala bear. Yeah, that's the best thing I think.
Yeah.
First thing.
But let's move away from that Gerrard moment, please. Thank you very much.
So, this is what I think with the Solskjaer. Yeah. I think they need another player behind the striker where Lingard plays. They need someone there, and they need someone to replace Matic. And then Pogba stays. Fred hasn't cut it for me.
Matic, he's not really cut it.
Yeah, well, Matic is old as well.
He's old, yeah.
Chelsea fans would have told you that. He starts off a good 10 games in the season and then dramatically falls off.
Yeah.
He'd been doing that for about 2 years in the league for Chelsea, innit?
Yeah, but in terms of United's problem areas, they do need a centre-back because at the moment they've got Smalling, Jones, Lindelof and Bailly, and none of them are good enough for a...
Bailly seemed alright.
He's okay, erratic. Lindelof likewise. Smalling and Jones, I mean, they need to get rid of them.
So obviously their keeper sorted, yeah.
Keeper sorted.
Delap's alright. I'd say give him time.
I don't know. I think
he hasn't done too bad.
I think he's too young. He's too young yet. He needs someone more.
Well, if you ask the Liverpool fans, Trent's young and look at.
They need someone more established.
You're on about the keeper staying with Courtois and his abysmal display at Madrid. Can't you see De Gea going there with Zidane?
Well, Zidane's already dropped Courtois and he's a big fan of Navas, so I think he's going to continue.
Yeah, I think he's keeping Navas. I don't think he feels that he needs to blow his load. Or when I say blow his load, I mean transfer budget load.
What an odd way of putting it.
Yeah, he doesn't need to overly spend on a goalkeeper when he's got one he trusts. Especially when he's going to try to get someone like... He's going to try to get someone like Mbappe or something.
You reckon
Neymar.
Solskjaer's going to rely on Lingard and Rashford?
Rashford, I think he likes, so I think he'll keep him. I don't think he
as a regular starter in the first 11.
Yeah, why not? No, I like him. I think he's a brave player.
I think he's a good player, but
yeah, and you only get better the more you play.
Surely you must appreciate the way he strikes the ball.
Who?
You must appreciate the way Rashford strikes the ball.
He's got a good striker of the ball, man. He's a clean striker of the ball, man.
So is my 12-year-old nephew. What's the big deal?
Yeah, well, he doesn't play for United.
Striking the ball, man.
One day.
You know what I mean?
You tell that to Mohamed Salah, innit?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so exactly.
No, the only reason I'm saying that is because English players are slightly overrated, well, very overrated.
But Rashford kind of goes against that mold to me.
He's overrated, man, very overrated.
But he doesn't play very English-like, if that makes sense. He's not scared to run at players and do things, man.
He's very overrated. He's a good player. That doesn't mean he's crap. Just come saying he's overrated doesn't mean he's crap.
I believe he's overrated by United fans. I think
But the media
they're talking about him.
But other people in there, Raheem Sterling, He's another overrated person.
Oh, we're not going to go into this.
Henderson.
This guy's
I don't think anyone rates Henderson.
No, I think people do. You need to do it. What a workhorse in the middle of the park. You know what I mean?
think with Rashford, you've got to put it into context. He's what, 22 years old, something along those lines, 21, 22.
Straight as peak now, man.
And
No, that's not true.
Why not?
what he's done to date is quite extraordinary
What's he done?
in terms of his levels of display.
What levels?
No, this is the thing. You know, if I say to you, how can you
I
describe
think
that
he's a good player, but I think
very good for his age.
Wait, how can you describe that as extraordinary when you've got Mbappe levels ahead of him at the same age?
These-
And then if you go back in the past, you've got Owen, you've got other youth players, or younger players, sorry, that have done better than this.
Better.
So-
Pissed on him.
So I'm not saying what he's doing is
Pissed on
extraordinary.
him.
I'm not saying what he's doing is extraordinary because he's not to that level of,
He's doing good.
you know, the world
say
class.
good.
You wouldn't class him as world class, would you?
Nah,
No, of course not.
So I wouldn't
He's a
say
good player.
extraordinary.
He's a good player.
But he's been good. He's been good. I'd say he's been good. I
He's
wouldn't say
a good
extraordinary.
player, but I'm saying, do you reckon United, they're going to be serious contenders for the Champions League next season?
Yeah, they
the
can
Premier
be
League?
under Rashford. I think they
With
can.
Lingard and Rashford, do you reckon? I don't
Maybe not Lingard.
Not
but-
Lingard, I
but
don't
Rashford,
think so.
yeah, definitely.
Lingard's good enough to be a squad player.
Yeah, I'm not saying that
100%,
United need to sell him.
100%.
I'm not saying United need to sell Lingard. He can do a job. But yeah, I think they need to. That's why I said they need someone behind the striker, like take away Lingard or Mata. Mata's fading. If they had Mata about 3-4 years ago and playing this season, then I'd say keep him because
Yeah,
I think
so-
he's a smart enough player,
So
David Silva-esque sort of player. So they need another clever player behind the strikers.
I mean, starting from the back again, in terms of centre back, any options there? They've been linked with Koulibaly.
Yeah, if they're going to splash big, then he gets in straight away. Left back Luke Shaw's done enough to stay there.
Yeah.
I think he's done enough. The lot's still got time, and with the way you see players like Trent developing, why not give the kid a chance? There's no harm in giving him the chance. He's not looked out of place when he's played. He's probably had a bad game here or there, but you're going to do it at that age. So you don't have to, overly spend at right back. If I was the United board, I think run the risk with Jalot, keep Shaw. You have to, for me, spend on the big centre back, like you said, and then defensive mid and attacking mid. I think that will.
And they need a right winger.
Yeah,
They've
right
got
winger.
No one on the right wing.
Yeah, that's true.
Would you cash in on Pogba?
Nah, I
reckon they
keep
would?
him. They're already getting like a decent.
Because
Do you reckon they play
apparently
better than
Zidane wants Pogba.
I'd cash in on him,
If I was United in the big games, he can turn up, but I'm not saying he does. But against small teams that sit back, he does offer you that something
Which
different.
big game has he really turned up in?
I want to say Arsenal, but
Yeah, that's not really a big game, man. United have always had their number. Even under Moyes had
did
their
he not
number.
score against
Mourinho.
Chelsea this year in the cup?
In the cup, yeah, he
Yeah,
scored
he
a
did.
header all over.
You gotta give him a
all
chance.
over Aston
He
Villa.
had his shit spell. Now let him while he's scoring, give him his chance to see what he does in it.
I think they should cash in on him, to be honest.
And in his own mind, he must be thinking, "I better get off to Madrid."
No, he's got time on his side.
Join
Man, how old
Zidane.
is he? 25.
People don't join Madrid because they're
No, but
getting
he's got-
old. But
No, I'm saying
he
he's got time on his side, so there's no rush for him to leave. If he wants to go to Madrid, that move will still be open for him in 2 years' time. It will be.
people don't always, or rather, Madrid don't always come back for a player.
But if he's as good as he thinks he
They,
is,
they come for you once. And the other thing is,
If he's
he
as
must think in his mind, where am I more likely to win titles? Madrid are going to spend big, no doubt about it. Whereas with United, unknown Solskjaer, we don't really know how much they're going to spend. Whereas Madrid, there's talk of $500 million they're going to spend this
With
summer.
Mbappe linked to him,
Mbappe,
Neymar linked to him.
Neymar. So Pogba must think,
It's a quite
Yeah.
good
use
incentive.
Pogba to do that chant again. Mbappe! Do you remember that thingy one? Yeah. And then that, I can't remember the rest of the team.
Well, I think most United
That
fans would say
introduction.
that, look, if he wants to go there, if we get good money for him, let him
Nah,
go.
I think, to be honest, I think.
'Cause I don't think United...
Wait. Listen, while you're not in there, keep Pogba or does he go?
I don't want to keep him.
Okay, that's a surprise. That didn't go the way I thought it would.
If someone
You don't
offer-
want to keep him.
No, I want to keep
Oh,
him.
you want to? Alright. I thought you said you don't want
If
to.
he wants
You do
to-
want to keep
If he
him.
wants to leave,
And they offer him 80 million for him.
No, but.
is that it?
No.
I don't know how much it'd be,
No.
80.
Well, they
I mean,
sort of
they're only
like-
bought him for 80.
Yeah, exactly. You're getting a bargain. You're only losing 10 million on him.
No, but you'll make a profit with the inflation now. It's as simple as
I
that.
think he's in good form as well.
Yeah, that helps. That plays. If the club want to keep you, the player's not busting the gut to leave. That'll.
But he's not busting a gut on the pitch.
No, forget what he
He's
does
a
on the
sloppy
pitch.
donkey on the pitch, man. He's
He's not as bad as you make it. I don't rate him too highly myself.
He's an
not
average
as bad as you
player.
make
He's
out.
an average to good player.
No, he's been good since Oli scoring.
Average to good player.
I know, and this is one thing people say to him that has good games against smaller teams, but that's what you win leagues on. All right, if you play shit in one big game and Rashford turns up and wins it, so what? Who cares?
When he nearly costs 9 figures, mate, you have to turn up in the big games. Fact.
Well, not everyone does all the time, innit?
Well, if you played big teams about 10 times, you're not turned up once.
Oh, he'll turn up.
Apart from Arsenal, which don't really count as a
Well,
big team.
you still got to beat them to win the league, innit?
I don't know, I think he's
He turned up against Chelsea.
average to good
He scored
player.
against Tottenham as well. I feel like he did.
I think he delivered that assist for Rashford.
So he is
£90 million assist. Come on, get out of here.
Either way, oh yeah, it was that, innit? Yeah. When that player gave the ball away sideways, yeah, I remember.
And then he pinged
Trippier,
it.
yeah, Bellend. But either way,
We'll be having the same discussion next year when we're still talking about how average Pogba is. We had it last year, the year
he's
before.
better than average.
Slightly better than average, yeah.
No, he's good. He's
Slightly better than average.
He's good, man.
Decent, I'd say decent.
Don't really become a United fan just to fucking get
Decent.
on you. But either way, right. So I think that's defensive mid, attacking mid, centre back, and right wing. They're the three areas that you need United really need to invest in. I think attacking mid maybe not as much, but the other three definitely. Right wing, defensive mid, and centre back. Because without that right winger, you can feel like they've had a few lucky wins under Solskjaer, and that's because they become predictable because they don't really go too much down that right because of the lack of quality there in it. So I think once they get that right winger, they'll be harder to play against because there's quality coming all over the pitch, sort of thing, from all angles, shall we say. So yeah, I don't think which right winger is there in world football right now that they could actually go and get. That's the one other thing I'm thinking about. You can say they need a right winger, but who is there? That's it.
They can go and bring back Zaha.
I was just about to say something.
I think he'd be a brilliant
They can
signing
go and
for
bring
them.
back Zaha.
I want to Liverpool to get him on. Good player, man.
Yeah, I don't think he gets in the team right now. That's the only thing.
Or over Salah. Let's start that
Nah,
debate
he
again.
doesn't.
If Bale wants out of Madrid, they can try and get him to play.
He
that
doesn't
right
stay
wing.
fit though. That is a huge amount of money for someone that doesn't stay fit.
Great player, but just
He is a great player. He just doesn't stay fit.
great athlete, man.
He would be a good
Fantastic athlete.
signing if you can look after him. Definitely a great signing. to
Potentially
look after.
Dybala, because he's not getting enough minutes at Juve.
That would actually work quite well. And the good thing about him is he's actually really good behind the striker as well. So he gives you that versatility.
Yep.
So yeah, that would kind of annoy me because I'd like to see him at Liverpool, especially with Liverpool being linked to that Dybala quite.
Isn't Salah going
I
all
think
the way?
I think he's
Nah.
outside of Liverpool's range.
Like 75 mil BVD outside our
No,
range.
he's going to cost over 100 million.
I can see Liverpool doing it though. I can genuinely see Liverpool. going
If
with
they
this.
win the league, which they're not, but if maybe.
No, even if, I don't think winning the league or not.
There's more chances of them coming if they won the league.
No, we're talking from a financial aspect. I don't
From
think.
financial aspect, I think the owners will chuck a lot more money at the club if he's won the league.
No, I think they
gain a bit of
trust him.
confidence and
I
trust.
think they trust him enough to.
Well, they'll trust him
Whether
with
they win
that
or not.
a bit more, won't they, if he won the league?
Yeah, I don't know how much that really changes it, to be honest.
How much?
In
No,
terms of
not won a
spending,
league title.
in terms of
Yes, of
spending.
course it'll change it.
no,
This
'cause
guy wins you
he's
the
a-
league after nearly 30 years.
He's just increased his points tally by about 20 in one season.
Okay.
That's enough to say, look, I'm improving your team. Give me better players and I'll get you more points.
So you're saying that him winning the league will not increase his spending power?
I'm not saying it wouldn't.
So
I'm
it would.
saying it wouldn't. Whether he wins the league or not, it wouldn't put a cap on the fact that they don't trust him or not.
Would
Because he's
he-
improved the
No,
team.
would he get more money to spend if Liverpool won the league, as opposed to him not winning the league?
I don't know. You can't. There's no guarantee on it. They might think, all right, he's won the league. He's got the tools.
Of course
to
there's
win
no
another
guarantee
one.
on it, but-
no. They could easily turn around and say, you've won the league with this team. So now you don't need as much to spend as we thought because you've already got a successful team. Where if you've not got it, you're like, listen, I need that bit more.
Not necessarily. They could be one-hit wonders like
So
Leicester.
it depends what the manager.
They could be one-hit
club
wonders like
owners think.
Leicester.
There'll be smart people at the top of Liverpool knowing that you can't just stand still.
Exactly.
Just because you've won the league 1 year doesn't mean you don't spend again. next
Exactly,
year.
but then if they don't win it,
He's agreeing my point there, by the way.
No, what I'm trying to
He's
say.
not
is
agreeing
that-
with you, yeah,
no,
I know exactly.
But they're smart people, so they're
Yeah.
thinking, right, if we just missed the league and we improved by
Listen.
20 points,
Forget the 20 points.
then
So why?
if they don't back their manager, then it's their own fault when they
Listen,
don't win the league.
listen.
It's simple as
My
that.
point was, if he wins the league, he'll get greater spending power, and there'll be more players who are attracted to the club and would be willing to come to the club because they've won the league.
Okay, so you use that logic.
Yes.
Look at United. They won the Europa League. They won the Carling Cup the next year.
Europa League and
No,
Carling
listen to
Cup.
me. But their manager was winning stuff, but they didn't back him
Shall I
the
tell you
last
why?
year.
Shall I tell you why? You know what the difference is? One, the Premier League
Meaningless trophies.
is
No,
all
but
about
either
these
way-
meaning stuff. And
either
number
way,
two,
he's winning stuff,
Liverpool
though.
haven't won it for nearly 3 decades.
I don't
You know what I mean?
I don't care about
That's-
these, I don't care about these fake news stats. Have you seen my promo save? They won the 3rd Premier League title in a row, mate. No, but either way, I don't believe.
Anyway, don't talk about that. Liverpool
Liverpool
aren't going to win the league anyway, so let's not talk about that.
Alright, what a fucking negative
Yeah.
Nancy.
Yeah, let's be honest
But
about it.
yeah,
Reverse Nezzer.
Yes. That's right.
nah, I just think I was saying that they don't need to, was it heavily invest in that attacking mid in it. It's the other ones that I think they definitely need to do. But the right winger was Dybala. Which defensive mid do you think they could target?
I think with Solskjaer's team, they're going to need someone mobile. They could get that Ndombele from Lyon.
Is he actually a holder?
Yeah.
Is he a box to box?
He is box to box, but I'm sure he could play that role. They could get Allen from Napoli.
Remember that last Napoli player that joined the Premier League? That was holding. I don't think they want to see another Jorginho here.
I was thinking go for.
I heard that United fan there. See, there's a lack of quality out there when you think about it. And to be fair, United don't have to go out and out crazy to sign a...
So they're not going to panic buy, are they?
Wait. They don't need to go out and out crazy in defensive mid to upgrade their
Rabiot's
team
available for a free.
because they got a lack of quality in Matic anyway. So whoever they get should be a upgrade.
They can get Rabiot because he's not signing a new contract at PSG.
If Liverpool don't get one of these players, I'll be hurt. No, I
But
don't.
apparently they want to get rid of Keita. Just not.
See, that's all paper
Not
talk
fitting
at the
the bill.
moment.
I'd be
I'm not-
happy with that. Based on
Yeah.
this current performance.
I don't want Liverpool to
How
dash
big of a
player
loss would you
from
take?
Liga.
Because he cost 50 million.
He'd probably
You
go
know,
back to
you-
him for about 40.
No. Can't
To the
see
German league, you would. If it was Bayern Munich, you also about 30, 40. Doesn't go less than 30. Liverpool rather keep him for another
It'd be
year.
30. Yeah. I don't think you get more than 30. To put
Putting the finances to one side, if he left or if they sold him, I wouldn't be upset about it.
Yeah, we wouldn't because he hasn't put any performances in for us where you're thinking, oh, we're missing.
Well, Jamie
that.
Redknapp saying in the first performance like a Rolls Royce in the midfield and
West Ham, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He goes, he's been here for 8 minutes, but it feels like 8 years or something.
yeah, right.
Like, calm down, man. Although he was.
But these commentators that influence the fans.
Yep.
Seriously, the fans would just listen to that little snippet and say, okay, even Jamie Redknapp was saying it. But
Yeah.
you watched him play, but yeah, it doesn't matter. What I'm
Yeah.
visualising with my eyes, Jamie Redknapp said he's like a Rolls Royce in midfield. It's as if he's been here for 80 years, not 8 minutes.
I'd like for them to give him another chance, another year.
I wouldn't.
I mean, you compare, just to expand on that, you compare football experts and pundits to those that you see in cricket, for example,
Mm.
and the knowledge difference is massive.
Massive.
These guys know exactly what they're talking about. There's no agendas where they're trying to hype up players or no biases. The cricket commentators and other sports are really knowledgeable and basically down to earth. Whereas the football
Yeah,
ones,
it is.
I think football is just hype trains, isn't it? That's
it
what
is,
isn't
it is, yeah.
I think that's what it is. So that's more to do with that. But again, can you imagine how many players, if they got axed after the first season, your Drogbas and players like that? Like, I'm not saying he could elevate himself to that level, but to see how many players that wouldn't ever be talked about right now.
Fair
If you
point,
were to
fair
just
point.
get rid of him. So,
Maybe give him another
and
year.
look how shocking Drogba was for the first. I think
Maybe
couple
give him
of
another
years.
year.
Won the league in the first year.
Maybe give
Yeah,
him
but
another
he
year.
wasn't exactly. Oh,
Did enough.
Drogba won us the league.
No, he was absolute crap when he first come on.
Yeah.
He was
Like
good
when I was
enough. He was good enough.
Me and Simon used to take the piss off him at school, man. I remember when
remember-
he went on the goal drought, yeah, Drogba, and he scored a goal and he kept saying, I'm back, and it was such a shit goal he scored as well, yeah. And I remember just laughing to my mates about it at school.
For us, there's a big game coming. Liverpool Spurs at Anfield.
Yes.
I always fancy us there, especially against Spurs, who normally bend over for us. Yeah,
No, they don't.
they normally do.
No, they don't.
They normally do.
Not when there's 7 games left and you're still potentially in the title race. Liverpool are going to bend over for them and for the rest of the world to
You've
take
got one of
it.
those nervous Liverpool fans, isn't it?
I'm not nervous at all.
You are.
Can you see me shaking?
Yeah. Put that in the But nah, I still actually fancy us. The only problem is, I think, do Spurs have any cup games coming? No, they don't, do they?
No.
They've obviously got City in the Champions League
No,
in a couple of
no,
weeks,
no,
and
so they're not gonna-
any.
I was about to say they could be resting place for cup games, but they got knocked out of the cups.
Have you got Liverpool winning that game then?
Oh, yeah, I've got Liverpool winning.
My prediction, 1-1 draw, and Salah squanders a huge opportunity in the 85th, 86th minute.
I fancy this.
Massive
I don't know
I fancy about 3-1 in,
the
mate.
specificity of that timing, but I could see Salah missing a few chances for sure.
No, he's going to squander a massive, monstrous opportunity.
Right, I fancy us to actually win 3-1. Possibly 3-0. We obviously we can't be wasteful. I'm not saying we can be wasteful.
Liverpool are going to get better than a draw that day, unfortunately.
No. Stop being
Seriously.
Stop being such a prick.
After I see...
What's the team news? Any injuries? on
Gomez
the
is back in
side?
training.
Yeah, so I don't think he'll make it
He
though.
won't make it though.
I
but
think
he's
Trent
back in
should be
training.
alright to play. It'll be Matip and VVD. So it'll be Matip and VVD.
Check it.
Robertson will be left back. No, there's no injury
There's no
news,
injuries.
innit?
There's no injuries.
For both
So
sides.
from what I'm hearing, Trent should be back though. With Liverpool, I think the only one that might be a doubt was Henderson. I think not 100% sure on that.
Big miss.
But I expect Wijnaldum to be playing there, possibly Milner. I think that'll be the midfield trio, and then the front three should be fine.
One all I've got it as. What do you reckon?
I can see Spurs. They've lost 3 out of their last 4 games.
So, this is Liverpool talking about.
And they finally got their stadium. That's
But
psychological impact.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter when you're not there. They're coming to.
I don't think that really helped them that much, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't think they need much help
You
anyway.
never know.
Nah.
And
It's like for us normal people, you think about the home and away divide, and you just think, why do they not perform away like they do at home? And similarly, Spurs not performing at Wembley, who knows, they might do amazing at their proper home.
Yeah, that's
Maybe.
fine, but they're not playing.
What's
there
that new
on
stadium
Sunday,
called?
innit?
Is it the new White Hart Lane?
I don't know what it's called.
I think that's what it's
Couldn't
called.
be damn what it's called at the moment.
When a City playing Saturday, yeah?
City are playing Fulham on Saturday, yeah, 12:30.
Yeah.
Fulham.
Fulham
Welcome.
can't defend that live.
Well, they
That's
did,
gonna
they
be
did
a
pretty well
cricket
against
score.
Liverpool.
That's gonna be a cricket score.
Yep.
I've got that 2-all that game. Ryan Babel!
So he's got us drawn to Spurs, and then he's got City drawn to Fulham.
This is just wishful thinking,
Did
to
you
be
see
honest.
some of the chances
What,
Babel
us
missed
draw-
against Germany?
Us drawing
Yes.
to
Oh,
I know you
yeah.
missed some City, isn't it? But us drawing to Tottenham is wishful thinking. Yeah, is what you're trying to say.
But that's realistic thinking.
So where's your realistic thinking for City?
My wishful thinking for City is,
The realistic thinking.
or realistic is going to be a cricket score, as you said.
I fancy them to put at least 5 past them, and then bring off a few players to rest them for the next
Yeah.
game. Because they've still got extra fixtures to play, haven't they?
They've got a game in hand, I think.
Yeah. So I think they'll look after their squad. They know they've got the goal difference.
But that's
on
what you
their side.
thought with City against Crystal Palace and Newcastle.
No. Their teams are capable of doing damage. on
City
the
home
game.
or away?
I don't think
City,
it matters.
oh, yeah, it doesn't. They're playing at
Well, it
Fulham
mattered
ground.
really for Liverpool, then we got bombed last week.
That's because Liverpool aren't as good as City. Let's be in the way they play, they're not as good. Yeah,
But you're describing Fulham as such a horrendous team that can't defend. They defended quite well against Liverpool.
but they still lost, isn't it?
Thanks to a dodgy penalty.
And dodgy keeping.
And dodgy keeping, yeah.
No, it wasn't a dodgy penalty. It was a penalty.
Dodgy.
It-
soft.
it- it-
very soft.
No, it was a penalty.
Soft. And dodgy keeping,
But
ultimately.
either way, we gave them a goal by a gift. Yeah. So either way, we scored a good goal, gave them a gift, and then still went on to score. And hadn't we not scored that penalty, we'd have had another chance because Fulham would have just crumbled.
No.
That 13 points off safety for a reason, all right?
And precisely the point, Liverpool
They're
found it.
averaging over 2 goals, as in like conceding 2 goals a game.
Been through 2 managers this season already.
Exactly. So there's a
Slacks.
reason that they're already down there for a reason, yeah. So
Poor Claudio.
I expect Fulham to take a beating, yeah. The only thing that can save them is if City play horrendous for 95 minutes. Because there'll obviously be a few extra minutes added on. And being a 12:30, sometimes you get them teams that don't play well on early games.
I can't see it.
Yeah, I don't see it.
You reckon
I
it's
think that's their only saving grace.
Another reason is a lot of other teams, Liverpool will have probably their entire 11, maybe 8-9 players international duty, whereas City, Aguero doesn't play international football anymore. No Otamendi, he doesn't play anymore.
No, it's not about
Kompany doesn't
fatigue.
play.
It's not about fatigue.
I think fatigue will come
No,
into
no.
it.
What I'm trying to say
Whereas,
is,
look,
this
City,
weekend
City have got an easy fixture against Fulham, and a lot of their players haven't played international football. Liverpool have got Spurs, and most of their team has played international football.
I think it's good to play international football.
Well, I don't think Mane
Keep the
played.
fitness there, man.
I don't think Salah.
You don't
played.
want 1 week break or something without playing football.
Yeah, I don't think Salah or Mane played.
I'm not
I
sure.
know.
I'm
I know.
not
Bobby
Do
scored.
you reckon City are going to be under pressure? Like, yo, we've got a chance to go to the back of the
And
top
if,
of the
and
table.
if
Well,
Bobby
not against
played,
Fulham,
he would have gone to South America, I imagine.
For me, you
I
did
don't know
play.
he played. Yeah, no,
He
no,
played,
no,
he
he
played.
scored. He scored. But this was the thing. When I'm saying they're not going to be up for it, what I mean is you get them games where you just don't get out of that. You want to get out of the second gear or first gear, whatever. Sorry, and it's just not happening. And that normally happens on early games, like early kickoffs. It doesn't normally tend to happen at late days. I've noticed that. I've noticed when teams don't get the result they expect, it's normally early kickoffs that do them. 3 o'clock, that's normally like.
We shall
then
wait and
there's
see.
an issue.
We shall wait and see.
But again, I'm saying that's Fulham's only chance. Not that it's like in their hands. It is technically in their hands, but it's not really in it. Realistically, it's not.
We'll see how it goes.
Are there any other big games? So you got United, Watford. I can actually see Watford at Old Trafford doing a little bit of damage. The only thing is, isn't there a cup game between Watford and who's the other one? Who's the other big team in the FA Cup?
There's only City left.
Oh, Wolves. That's it. So Watford Wolves will be a big game for them, and I'm sure that's like a week or 2 away. So I'm sure
Yeah.
they might be already looking to rest their players.
It's not a week in advance. If it was a
No,
midweek
no,
to weekend,
forget even resting your players. Them players don't want to pick up an injury, so they might not go into that 50-50. So it could be a bit of an easier match for United.
Yeah.
Maybe that player might be thinking, do you know what, this is my chance to get into that semi-cup final. So it works either way, innit?
yeah.
So I can see Watford being a tricky tie for United. West Ham, Everton or...
We need to talk about West Ham and Everton.
No, actually, wait. United score, what do you think it'll be?
3-1 United, Old Trafford.
I fancy 2-2.
Lukaku brace.
Old Trafford.
Yeah.
Given Ollie's just got the job, I think they will comfortably 3-0.
I think it'll be 2-2. I think Ollie's already get complacent. I've got the job, fuck this. Take off his suit, put his trackies on. That's it, mate. He's going to do a Sherwood.
Right.
I think so. Yeah, I think it'll be 2-2. The City scoreline we said was going to be a cricket score. Don't matter. I think the reason I wanted to bring West Ham and Everton...
Can I support you there?
No, you don't. Don't you dare.
I need to go.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
You do. Okay, quick time fixture.
Yes,
Yeah?
of course.
So, you said the Tottenham-Liverpool game was a draw.
1-1.
I said 3-1. And you said what?
No, you said 3-0.
Or 3-1.
Okay.
Either way, Liverpool win.
1-0.
Hater.
1-0.
So you two think draw there, yeah?
And Salah to squander a huge opportunity.
Okay, that was part of the scorecard,
No,
right?
that is part of the
Just
score.
get your hate for Salah away from the
85th
podcast.
minute.
85th, 86th minute.
1-1, yeah?
Yes.
I think Salah will get the hook before the end of the game.
Nah, I don't think so.
Okay, next one.
It'll be
Alright, so West Ham Everton. The reason I say this is because Everton are a bit of bastards anyway. But I feel like they're massively
West Ham at home.
West Ham at home, yeah.
If Arnautovic plays, I think West Ham will win.
2-1 West Ham I'd go for.
Okay, yeah, I can see West Ham actually doing so. I think it'll be a draw there. My thingy there. Leicester Bournemouth. Not that I really care too much about that
Leicester at
one.
home.
Yeah, Leicester at home. Bournemouth just love to concede, man. I don't know how they do
I
it.
don't know, they're a good counter-attacking side. Wilson, Fraser, Brooks. If those three are playing, they've got a chance. Leicester can't keep any clean sheets.
Yeah, but they
Because you said that, I'd go for Leicester 2-0.
2-0.
2-0.
Remember, they went down to 10 men, and they went and won a match recently under Brendan.
Yeah.
They've got character that he likes to mention so often. Crystal Palace. Well, actually, I'd say that I fancy Leicester to actually win that one. I'd say 2-1.
2-0.
Yeah, I think Leicester will win, yeah.
Palace v Huddersfield. If Zaha plays, I feel that would be comfortable.
Even if he doesn't, Huddersfield are shocking.
Yes.
Yeah, but then Palace without Zaha aren't as good a team as people think.
3-0 Palace I'd go for.
Palace are a relegation team without Zaha. You know that. They're a team that battle relegation without Zaha. With Zaha, they're comfortable away from relegation.
With that, do you think he's the most important player for their team compared to other teams in the league? So, if you take
They are
a
definitely-
single player out of a team,
I know what you're about to say. They are definitely the most one-man team in the Premier League. They are.
I think it's Chelsea and Hazard. You
No,
take Hazard
you
out of
still got
Chelsea.
quality in the team,
You
though.
think take Hazard out of Chelsea, they're not a top 16.
No, I think they're top 6. They'll be 6th. They'll be 6th.
Nope.
No.
I see Wolves doing them.
No, I don't. I think I still feel Chelsea have got too much quality in that team to finish behind Wolves. Just because Sarri's deciding to
I
play
still think
more.
they finished top 16 without Hazard, to
Yeah.
be honest.
But I think the amount of positions Palace lose, I forget in positions, just the way they play. They're suddenly a team that can't attack. Although Batshuayi has been a good sort of early signing for them. I know he's only on loan, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
3 goals.
Yeah, so he's playing all right. It's not just that he actually plays okay. It's not just getting the goals; he actually plays okay. But with Palace and Zaha transformed that team massively. So he has to, for me,
What's
be
the
the
next
biggest
team?
one-man team. Burnley Wolves are. I think that could potentially be a draw.
Wolves are winning that
Wolves
game.
don't travel too well.
Wolves are winning that game.
Wolves don't travel too well.
2-1 Wolves I'd go for.
I'm going to go for a draw there, 1-1.
I think Wolves will win. Burnley are awful.
They are, but at home they seem to do it. And they're in the scrap for the battle of relegation. They've got more to play for, shall we say. So, and being at home, I think the crowd will get them through to at least a point. Brighton, Southampton, oh, that's a big game. Wait, I'm sure they're both like pretty much touching. Yeah, so Brighton, yeah.
Yeah, both bottom 6.
Yeah, so they're both 2 and 5 ahead of safety there. Who are the home team? Let me have another look again, sorry. So the home team there are Brighton.
1-0.
I don't see Southampton losing.
1-0.
I think Southampton will win. Under Hasenhüttl, they've improved a lot.
Yeah, but I don't know if
Actually,
I don't know if I don't know if they have enough to actually win.
Hassan Hootel, what a name.
Yeah.
It is a nice name. It's so nice I can't say it. So
Sounds
I'm
like a
gonna say
sex
that.
position.
And then
The Hassan Hootel.
Cardiff, Chelsea, Cardiff's ground. That's on Sunday.
Doesn't matter which ground. Chelsea losing.
Losing!
Look at this shot.
I think, hey,
Reverse jinx. No, of
Chelsea winning that game.
comfortable Chelsea.
Hazard hat-trick.
Yeah.
4-0.
you heard it here, lads. Comfortable Chelsea. So
yeah.
you know where to come back in the comments if it is
Comfortable
uncomfortable. I don't think it'll be comfortable.
I
I don't think it'll be comfortable.
In the reverse fixture, I think Chelsea did beat him 4-0.
Okay, so maybe it might be.
Hazard hat-trick.
Yeah, this is where Hazard actually shines in it. These shitter teams. This is where he
And
shines.
just to remind you, Salah's going to squander a chance.
And then Monday it's Arsenal v Newcastle. Normally a cracker of a game.
Arsenal, man.
And it's live!
Arsenal winning that.
On
Arsenal at
Monday.
home.
On Monday, Sky Sports 8 PM.
Yeah.
It is actually live.
Arsenal winning that game.
I wouldn't write Newcastle off, man.
Nor would I.
People said that against Man City.
Arsenal winning that. 3-1, 4-1.
Remember when...
No. I think
0-0.
Benitez will shut up shop.
Rafa.
Nah, I don't think Arsenal keep a clean sheet, man.
3-1, 4-1.
I think
kind of agrees with me.
I don't think Newcastle will leave their half. Emirates, yeah?
Yeah, Emirates, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
It's
Newcastle
a
will
counter
leave their
attack,
half.
innit? It's not about wanting to leave your half, because I think with the pace that they have on the break, I think, and the lack of pace Arsenal have backwards.
Rondon might be in good form given what he did to Argentina over the past week, because Venezuela beat Argentina 3-1, and who could have predicted that?
Yeah.
Messi was on the pitch.
Yeah.
Fair point.
Talking of that, remember I showed you the squad list of Argentina?
Mhm.
I could probably recognise like 3 players in that squad.
What a squad.
That's one we should talk about in the future. If that Argentina team goes into a competitive, because it was friendly, I won't go too deep into it, but if that team steps on a
They're
competitive
not winning shit for a
field,
long time.
then God knows what the hell's happened to football in Argentina.
Messi's 32 now, so
Yeah, he's done.
once
This is his last
One more World Cup and he's finished, isn't it?
Yeah,
World Cup.
yeah, World
probably.
Cup now, isn't it? Coming.
No,
No,
Euros.
shit,
is
no,
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry,
So-
yeah.
So at the next World Cup,
3 years.
He'll be
Yeah.
30,
35.
34, I think.
Yeah,
34.
I think he'd retire before then.
I think he'll probably play one last World Cup. One last
He might play.
chance for glory.
It depends who he's got there to play with in it. Because I wouldn't step onto the pitch if I was playing with the likes of
But if you're saying
whoever
that
was
team,
on that pitch that
if
day.
you're saying that team is as bad as you're saying it is, Messi at 34, 35 will be able to walk into that team still.
Yeah, he'd walk in,
Yeah.
but would he want to play with that
I think he
team?
would.
No.
Why not?
Because you're just wasting
holiday.
holiday.
Hate him.
Who hate Messi?
Yeah,
Because they think he's a Spanish.
yeah.
That's what it is.
I don't know why he didn't play for Spain. He
He
won 2
would have
Euros,
done,
World Cup,
Yep.
everything.
Yeah, he had that national pride in it.
Yeah.
The ungrateful Argentinians didn't really take a liking to him. Even though they got through to that last World Cup because of him. Because when they played, I think, how many fixtures are there to qualify? I think it was like 19 fixtures.
For the World Cup
Yeah,
in the
He
South
plays-
American
yeah.
division.
yeah, it's a
Yeah, I
stupid
think
amount of
that-
fixtures, isn't it?
I think there are 10 teams maybe in the South
And
American.
he played him
groups.
twice, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, so there's 18 games. I think there were 9 games that he played. They won 8 of them. The 9 that he didn't, I think they dropped points in about 8 of them. So they were almost on the brink of not making it through because of him not being able to play enough fixtures. That's how much they actually need him. And they still kind of don't take to him. So they kind of deserve not to win shit, to be honest.
Yeah.
Not Messi, but either way, we let you go.
Thank you very much.
And I'll finish him off when you're there.
I need to go, but remember, Salah's going to squander a chance.
Right, with the recent news of Angelina Jolie joining the MCU, she's going to be in a new film called The Eternals. What do you think about, or which actors would you like to see joining the Marvel Cinematic Universe? So who could you see joining the likes of the Guardians of the Galaxy and Captain Marvel in future adventures?
I don't know who the actual cast is ready, or, well, who they've already got casted.
So if we consider that in Avengers Endgame, the likes of Captain America, Chris Evans, Thor, Chris Hemsworth, Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr., they'll all be leaving. Their contracts are up. And then the new Avengers are the likes of Ant-Man, Guardians of the Galaxy, Captain Marvel, Black Panther. Who would you like to see join them?
See, for me, it's
Oh,
not.
and Spider-Man. How could I forget Spider-Man? My favourite.
See, for me, it's not so much about the actor. As long as it's not a terrible actor. When I say terrible actor, if it's a person I've never heard of, as long as he doesn't drag the film down, it doesn't bother me, yeah? It doesn't have to be an amazing sort of actor to make that movie great. The things that make them sort of Marvel movies great are more to do with the storyline and just about how well it's all shot and stuff like that. So, like, if you think that scene was entertaining to watch, You know, because how important is someone's emotional side of... Because the reason I like sort of movies that... When I say these characters like your De Niro's and stuff like that, they play more serious roles because they draw out that emotional side. They know how to get in touch with certain emotions, which is why they're great actors and they're played for them sort of roles. But these movies, you wouldn't need a De Niro for this because you don't need that skill set in a movie that's so action-packed and stuff like that. So for me, it doesn't bother about who the cast is in reality. For me, I believe. Anyway.
So if you consider another, what I deem now a superhero type film, Fast and Furious, because you look at some of the stuff they're doing in there, it's just not.
Yeah,
it's
I
not
don't
real.
think they aim it.
It's not
I
real.
don't think they aim it to be that. So you
Of
can't.
course. So then you remember up until Fast 5, they had the normal Vin Diesel, Paul Walker, obviously, and Tyrese. And then they introduced The Rock because they saw this was a failing franchise. We need to do something. Let's introduce some star power. Now with the MCU, no more Robert Downey, no more Chris Hemsworth, no more Chris. All the big guys are leaving, and they're left with Black Panther, Captain Marvel, Ant-Man, Spider-Man, and Guardians of the Galaxy. I'd say Doctor Strange as well. How could I forget Doctor Strange? So the star power is not what it used to be.
But for me, this is what I'm trying to say. The Rock is a great actor, yeah?
Would you like to see him in the MCU?
I don't think he suits them roles. That's the difference. He
what's
can play a role.
What's interesting is he's actually going to be in the DC films.
Yeah, I'm not saying he can't play a role, but for me, if The Rock's in it...
Or it's rumoured to be.
It is rumoured to be, okay, fair enough. But if he's in it, which character does he play for you? He can't play Spider-Man.
So
you don't play anything like that, yeah?
No, of course. In DC, he's playing
doesn't-
someone called Black Adam, who's like an anti-hero, and he's in the Shazam films.
I was about to say he can play a good anti-hero. I believe he can play a good anti-hero. I can't believe him to be a hero. I just can't take that on in it.
What if they recast Hulk, for example?
I don't know. It just
Nah, actually, Rock can't play Hulk
No,
because I mean Bruce Banner starts as a geeky type guy and then
Yeah.
grows into the Hulk. Rock's already the Hulk. That's a bad example.
But I just don't see that. But as I was saying though earlier, before we go back into the casting, I feel like them movies, the actors themselves, because they don't need to draw on such a huge skill set. I'm not saying they don't need a skill set, of course they do, but they don't need to necessarily show what you do when you watch a Shawshank Redemption or something like that. They don't need to draw
They're not character
them
driven.
skills.
Yeah, they're not character driven
Yeah.
films. And with franchises like these, you're right. You know, the star power isn't necessary, which makes it even more interesting why they've gone for Angelina Jolie. If you consider it,
Maybe just the hype.
when
like I
comic
said.
book films first started back in 2001, none of these stars were massive. So before that, if you look at the 90s, it was all established stars, the likes of Tom Cruise, even Denzel Washington, all the big 90s stars. And then 2001, X-Men came out. They had Ian McKellen, who's obviously a recognised name. Hugh Jackman was a nobody back then. You had Patrick Stewart, obviously a very famous actor, but not A-list. You couldn't cast him in a film and expect him to lead the film to millions and billions of dollars. And likewise with all these films, Robert Downey wasn't huge, Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans, all these guys, they were middling, and then because the stories were so great, now they become megastars.
That's what I'm trying to say. So
Then you compare it to the fortunes of your Tom Cruises, and outside of the Mission Impossible films, he's doing terrible. Star power doesn't pull in people anymore. It's not, I mean, it's similar to other industries, Bollywood for example. The big names, they don't pull in the audience anymore.
it's almost the show it's like the show makes the guy instead. So
Yeah,
for example,
exactly.
Breaking Bad, he had been in Malcolm in the Middle for donkey's years. No one remembered who he was. And
Yeah.
then he does Breaking Bad and suddenly he's all over the place. And I love him. He could be my second father. I love him that much. I've listened to so many interviews of him.
We've been duped.
Yeah, it's his voice is just amazing, and
Yeah.
it's his range that he can actually play is ridiculous. He's been in so many movies. Was he in Planet of the Apes or like one of the Planet of the Apes movies? I'm sure he was.
Can't remember.
I'm sure he was, and he was good in that. I'm sure he's in one of those sort of movies.
He's definitely on the second or third.
Or it might have been. Was it Jurassic Park? No, I can't remember.
He's in Godzilla.
It might be that one I'm referring. It might
He's
be
in
Godzilla. It might, yeah. But his character in there again, like he makes that character like his. You can't imagine someone to play that role better than him. And as we're talking about making a character, let's talk about some of the greatest actors. How do you rank these actors? Like, who would you say is the best actor?
DiCaprio.
Do you
Without
think it's DiCaprio?
Without a shadow of a
For
doubt.
me, it's Washington, man. Denzel.
Yeah,
His range is ridiculous.
same for Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, but I think
And
I'm not going to argue with someone that
and-
says DiCaprio.
and the
apart from
thing-
you, 'cause
The
yeah,
thing
yeah.
about DiCaprio is not only does he have great acting ability, it's also he hasn't done a bad film. He's never done a bad
But
film.
has Denzel? Has he done a bad film?
I mean, personally, I don't think he's done as many films as DiCaprio, or rather, I probably haven't seen as many of his films.
Right? Did Denzel have to go into a dead horse to win an award, to win an Emmy, Grammy? What was it? He won-
Oscar
Oscar
for Training
Yeah,
Day.
yeah, what was that? Yeah. Okay. No, but I'm saying for DiCaprio, he had to go on a dead horse or something, didn't he?
Yeah, he probably won it for the wrong film. He shouldn't have won it.
Yeah,
for The
he
Revenant.
should have definitely won it. For me, Wolf of Wall Street should have won that one. He got done by that guys who look giving each other AIDS. What's that movie called? Something.
I
American.
can't remember the year Wolf of Wall Street came out. Who won the Best Actor Oscar?
Oh, it's a big film, man. I haven't watched it though, but I know it's about like guys being gay and shit. That's all I remember of it.
Is it a Matthew McConaughey film?
It might be. Which one was it?
Dallas Cowboys?
Something Club.
Dallas Buyers Club. Is that what it's called?
It's something like that. So I'm sure it's something Club. I could be wrong. Dallas remind, but either way, he should have won it that year. DiCaprio should have.
Yeah, I think he should have won it for Departed.
I think he should have won it for Wolf of Wall Street. Either way, he should have had one and he got one.
And I think he got nominated again for
It felt like he got it like Ryan
Django.
Giggs.
Yeah.
So they gave him that one on what was it called?
Revenant.
Revenant. They gave him the Revenant one. Like the way they gave Giggs that. Oh shit! We should have given him a Player of the Year.
one. Yeah.
Or I don't know. Should Giggs have ever had one? Do you think? Because was he ever the best in that season? I don't think he ever was. But they're thinking he's been so good for so long. Let's give him one.
Yeah.
But that wasn't.
I think
that's not the right thing
was
to
that
do.
was that not the same year Van Persie fired United to the title?
I think it was.
They got
Or it might have been the year after.
24 league goals.
Wasn't it the year after?
I think it was that year.
And then
The
a
year-
week later,
year-
his sister, his brother, got caught. Well, he got caught banging his brother's missus in it.
Exactly.
But for me, I'd have to say that Denzel's the best that I believe. Then it's De Niro for me.
Denzel just doesn't have the films.
He
doesn't have.
Alright,
enough
if you're going to
films.
base it on that, I'd say De Niro. For me, it's De Niro. For me, it's De Niro, Denzel, and then I'd probably put Leonardo in there.
Mm.
Are there any other great actors that you'd even put in that bracket? Like, them three on that elite, like legendary elite.
I think
In our generation,
I
man.
think De Niro's ruined his reputation with some of the awful films he's done recently. Bad Grandpa.
Yeah, I think that's just. I don't understand why he's doing them sort of
It's
movies.
like Al Pacino is doing these weird.
No, but I don't think he's a bad actor in them. I don't think he's.
he's awful.
No, the thing
He's
is,
like,
the
Bruce
movies are
Willis.
bad.
He's like Bruce Willis now. He's just doing these. No, but he's choosing to be in them terrible
Yeah,
movies.
but
He doesn't need the money.
but he's not. He's not bad in them. The movies are bad in it. You gotta distinguish the difference, man.
He shouldn't do them then. He should think, I've got a legacy to protect here.
I don't think he cares about that. To be honest, I think
You should.
he probably doesn't want to be bored at home.
He should. I'm sure he gets offers that probably just don't pay as well.
Possibly. But do you think there's any other actors that go up amongst them three? For me, De Niro is definitely an all-time great. So I don't see none of these current crop of actors ever reaching that level. I don't see a single one of them ever reaching that level.
I'm a big fan of Jake Gyllenhaal. I think
What movie is his last movie?
his last movie was that Netflix one, Velvet Buzzsaw, but
I'm trying to think of a movie I've seen him in and I can't put them in the face.
Source Code, Nightcrawler. He's in Donnie Darko.
I haven't
he's
watched
in-
any of his movies. I'm trying to put a face to this guy, man.
He's in the new Spider-Man film, Far From Home. He's the guy in
I'll have
Prince
to
of
keep
Persia,
an eye-
Sands of Time.
I'll have to keep an eye out for this guy.
if there's any film you need to watch with Jake Gyllenhaal in, 2 films, Source Code and Nightcrawler.
No.
They are amazing.
I've been off movies a lot recently since I've been watching more TV shows. I don't have the attraction to movies anymore because I'm so used to all the character building done over episode after episode, and you get that emotional attachment.
These 2 films are elite level films. Nightcrawler was nominated for Best Picture Oscar. Source Code wasn't, but Source Code has got a fantastic story, sci-fi, fantastic story.
I'll give it. You know what, I will give these ones a go soon. But I just haven't been into movies much. You said that guy's name. I'm trying to put a face to it. Then that's what I said. What movie? And you said movies which I've not even heard of yet. And I'm thinking, what the hell? So I think, yeah. Plus the fact that I started watching Game of Thrones about a week ago, and I'm already 4 seasons in. I'm halfway through the 4th as well. I've been literally hooked on that ridiculously. Don't ask me to name any characters though. So many people come and die so quickly. It's ridiculous. So yeah, I almost remember the names as they walk into the screen. That's how I am with Game of Thrones right now. But yeah, I think I'd actually like to know what the people in the comments think, who the greatest actors are, and who their personal favourite actors are. I don't know if I'm saying Denzel or De Niro because they're personal favourites as well, but I know even if they weren't personal favourites, I'd say I think that what's his name, the guy from Breaking Bad, what's his actual name? Not Heisenberg, but what's his actual name? See, for me, I wouldn't class him as the greatest actor. He's a great actor. You know who I'm on about though.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So the guy who plays Heisenberg, I'm terrible with the names. I'm not disrespecting. I'm just terrible with names. He's a great actor. He's probably just short of that elite bracket for me.
Oh, Bryan Cranston.
That's it.
I didn't even have to Google it.
Yeah.
Bryan Cranston.
But either way, he did Google it.
No.
You don't put your phone out and say, no, I didn't Google it. But
Just about unlocked the bastard.
But yeah, for me, he's a personal favourite of mine, which is why I wouldn't say he's a great, like a legend, but he's definitely up there. His character is amazing. Not just there, but his range of character is amazing as well. So I'd like to know who your favourites and who you think the best ones are. Your top 5 actors in order. Even you can even add actresses in there if you want as well. I'm trying to think of a legendary actress. Can you think of any? Ones that you thought that... I'm not saying they aren't good actresses, but a legendary one which you think... They don't seem to have the same range, do they? But you think they played multiple roles and stuff, and... It's a struggle, isn't it? Is it because you're sexist? Is it because there's not many good ones?
No, just trying to think of names. Not
or you're thinking of sexy ones?
No, I just can't.
Don't worry, I'll edit that bit out for you.
No, forget the actresses. It's confusing things. I can't think of any.
Yeah, I'm not saying there aren't good ones there, but I just don't.
If you're talking Bollywood actresses, I could name you.
No, I don't know. I don't even watch that shit, man. I really don't. I just feel like the movies are so shit, man. So predictable. You watch 5 minutes and you know what's happening for the next 2 hours and 45.
Exactly.
You know when it's happening, how it's happening, to the exact minute. The odd time you might think, oh my god, I've been so lulled into these ones. But yeah, guys, I'll leave it there. I hope you guys did enjoy this. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. If you did like it, remember to give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, remember to subscribe and put your podcast ideas in the comments as well. Until next time, peace.